$33 billion aid request announced yesterday is more than double the size of the $13.6 billion package approved last month. Well, more than double. The president says it should keep Ukraine in the fight for at least the next 5 months. He also asked Congress to enhance U.S. authority to liquidate the assets of sanctioned Russian oligarchs to then donate to Ukraine. Joining us now, Deputy National Security Advisor Jon Finer. Jon, thanks for being with us this morning. Take us through a little bit more this package, if you would. What was important to you all at the White House as you constructed it? Because it's not just military aid. There's humanitarian assistance, there's food, there's medicine, and there's also money just going into Ukraine's treasury so that they can keep their government open.
That's absolutely right, Willie, and you've covered the details very well. Obviously, the headline usually is going to end up being focused on the arms, on what is going to enable Ukraine to stay in this fight and continue to succeed the way they did in the battle for Kyiv, where they were able to push Russian forces out of that and make Russia really revisit its entire approach to the conflict. Now the conflict is focused on the south and the east, as you've said, and we expect that to last for quite some time and be quite a hard fight. We need to get them the resources they need to succeed. But this package, as you said, has more than arms. It's got humanitarian assistance for refugees and for the countries that are supporting them once they've left Ukraine. It's got economic assistance so the government of Ukraine can continue to function. It's got money for food security because that affects not just Ukraine and the countries in that region, but because Ukraine is such a major global food producer in normal times, it's affected countries around the world. Russia's conflict has done harm to the global food supply, and so our money and our assistance is aimed at that problem as well. And so a wide range of focus that we hope will get us through the next 5 months, as the president has said.
Are you concerned that this will get mired in congressional politics, and do you believe it should be put forward as a standalone bill without the other domestic things attached?
So I'll leave the politics of this to others in my building at the White House and on the Hill who know this stuff much better than I do. I will say, though, from the perspective of national security and given the imperatives of the conflict in the immediate term, that we hope this money will be passed as soon as possible. And we've shown an ability to get it deployed onto the battlefield and to the other countries on the periphery as quickly as we can. And we hope that Congress will act soon.
Jon, it's Katty Kay here. There's been a pickup of attacks inside Russian territory. What are your conversations with the Ukrainians like about them using potentially American weapons to attack inside Russian soil? You had the British Defence Minister just this week come out and say that he thought it would be logical for the Ukrainians to use NATO weapons to attack Russia at home, and they weren't telling the Ukrainians not to do that. Have you had conversations with the Ukrainians about whether or not they can use things that you're sending in these big packages to attack Russia inside Russia?
So I guess the premise of this question is interesting to us because it sort of ignores the fact that what is actually happening here is an offensive, aggressive war by Russia from its own territory being perpetrated against Ukraine inside Ukraine. Our goal here and our focus is on giving Ukraine the tools it needs to defend itself and less on the tactics that it uses in doing so. We certainly won't get into the sorts of operational conversations we have between our Pentagon and the Ukrainian military, but we are focused on Ukraine's defense. This is fundamentally a defensive war that Russia chose to start and that it's perpetrating against Ukraine inside Ukraine.
All right, Deputy National Security Advisor Jon Finer, thank you very much.